Wow, that took forever to show up. So, a preview of Riverview version 3. And what's changed within it. I mean, I know for a while I'd been working on version 3, and then I disappeared for a while, and the reason being is a lot was going on, and I needed to get away from the computer. And I came back, and I began working on the changes. So this is one change: is the asphalt was removed and gravel was put in place. The next big change is just outside. Is just outside is now that there's a road within. It's no longer a painted road, it's an actual physical road. That still needs some fine adjustments here and there. For the most part though, it's done. But anyway, the farm is still the same as it was in the previous version videos that I'd done of highlighting the showcasing the version 3 changes. Apart from this wall that's been moved further up here, and you open the gate, and back here is your water trough, and then your milk pickup point is here. I might put the animal drop-off zone here, moving it from here, and all the shaders are loading in. I think I've got a Windows update as well going on. There was issues with the sheep originally. That needs to be fixed. I decided to go with the stock workshop rather than putting it in there. Couldn't be asked to try and get it to work, and to be honest, I wanted it so if people didn't want it there, they could sell it and bring in and move it to wherever they wanted. So the sheep points are still the same, all done. Nothing's changed here. But when you used to buy them, they used to freeze and they wouldn't move. And if you jumped over the fence, they would move, and as soon as you jump back over the fence, they'd freeze again. And that took some figuring out as to why. So I had to do the whole nav mesh again, which was fun, because I guess the way that the nav mesh works, it just doesn't like certain angles or something, I don't know. So I couldn't get it to do how I wanted it to do it, but I got it as close to as possible. All of these obviously work with their respective sounds, and your storage, vehicles and equipment has changed. You don't start off with any animals now. You don't start off with all the equipment that you had. Hi David. You now have a New Holland, 2 Fiats, and a Star, 2 trailers. One's a bale trailer, one's just a normal trailer with a capacity of 12,000. cultivator, plough or subsoiler, seeder, sprayer with the tank, lime spreader, weeder, mower front and side, tedder, rake, baler, water trailer, and then the front loader stuff, and then obviously all of your stuff for your farms, and which, as you have seen, the horse farm is in place, which we'll be taking a look at in a second. The idea of this version, rather than going straight into cows, is you start off with your good old friends, the sheep, as it was originally intended back in 17, or not 17, but 15. You made money from the sheep, and so these are the only bales that you've got, these hay bales, all sitting here waiting, all fully seasoned, masked, all ready to go. Some little tidy up here and there, or clean up work to do here and there, but nothing major. A lot of the trees have been changed out for different types of trees, as you'll see as we drive around. And I guess we'll take the Star out and keep the game. Hopefully it's not showing the stuttering so bad on the stream, because as I said, I think I've got a Windows update. My computer's been updating like crazy for a while because I haven't had the internet for 3-4 months, so it's just every time I turn it off it's doing it's doing an update, installing some update, and I didn't turn it off last night even though there was an update to be installed, and I've told the computer to wait for 1 hour before it restarts, so I can get this done, because this will be not a quick stream, but a quickish stream. So there's no traffic. I haven't done the traffic. I just splines, yeah. Unfortunately, by putting this road in, it also gives it a this is the side of the road you need to drive on, that's the side of the road you come the opposite way on. So you could say it's a English, Australian, Irish map. It's entirely up to you. Or for those who want the nostalgic feel of the map being based anywhere that they like, they could easily remove or check the box for visual, so that the stripe, the road markings don't show. But you'd have to do that for each and every single individual piece. It was tedious getting all the roads in, I'm not going to lie. Obviously it's easier to put the roads in on a map that's you're building from the get-go than put the roads in on a map that's already established, with all hedges everywhere and fencing and buildings, trees, the lot. So it was fun, but we got it there in the end, and it means that the width of the road is continuous all the way around for this area anyway. It's not going to get any tighter than what it already is. But the pig farm got a little bit more room within it as a result. The buildings haven't been moved, but there's a little bit more room there, so you can put some bales, silage bales or something, if you wanted to store them up there, you could do. And obviously both silos are independent, so you can put stuff in the pig silo and it won't register as being in the silo at the cow farm. The port's still the same, all the sell points are still the same, just the road to this one is not a painted road anymore. the bridge. I the old bridge was okay, but I just didn't like how it was a big hump to get up and on and off of it. Just didn't make much sense. It felt all of it like a sudden jerk, and because of how the road pack works, you're kind of limited within what is offered there to work with. So you'll get that kind of sudden jerks here and there. But hopefully not too bad. 1 second. And but the idea behind all of this was just to clean it up. The painted textures was making it look old and dated. You know, everybody builds their farms or their maps now with the road packing, and Maypole has used the road pack. Originally I had it painted roads and before it was released, and then I put the road pack in, used the road pack rather, and we just completely changed it. So we're going down to what was a field, originally a BGA, then became a field. Now, as it was always intended before FS19 came out, was to become the horse farm. So you've got all of these storage sheds for storing stuff down here. You haven't got a grain silo down here though, so you would maybe want to tip some oats somewhere. But over here you've got your straw trigger, then you've got your feeding trough, your loading point and the gate trigger, water trigger, and the horses. We'll just get 2 of each, shall we? Oh, okay, maybe not. But really, oh, because I didn't have enough money. That was clever. No, borrow item, don't want to borrow items. Where's the take out a loan. That's better. Hey Massey. I know I've been gone a long time. It's not out yet. It's coming though. It's all seasons ready now, and this is the latest part that's been done, is the horse farm. But so yeah, and obviously, like, you should be able to. You can ride them, so it's not, no features have been removed. You can ride them and train them and whatever. And it currently holds 16 horses, definitely weird looking cows. Can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait for it to be released, to be honest. It's been a long time in the waiting. I was waiting on seasons originally, and then a few things came up and I disappeared for 6 months, and then came back and began working on it, getting all of this done, getting the roads sorted, getting everything in place. And what was this? Right, anyway, back to here. Can you see the farm? You will be able to. I'm just driving around the map because I only have another 20 minutes before I have to get ready to set out. Because the road has all changed all the way around. Which farm do you want to see? Because there's three. There's the main farm, horse farm, and the pig farm. All of the farms. Can you see all of the farms? Yeah, I'll show you them all soon. Not the fastest tractor to be doing this in, but I didn't want to take one of the really fast tractors around. I think the village will be the significant improvement on how the road looks, and maybe going up towards the bakery, because, oh yeah, it's definitely changed. And for those who like to play with MR, obviously the undulations within the terrain are still there. Maybe not as acute as they originally was in some places, but they're still pretty much there. All the dirt paths will still take you up to the forestry areas. The freight yard road has been painted in asphalt, so it's easy to know which road's coming up. As you can see, some grass in the road here that needs to be removed. Sorry about that. And that road will take you up to the freight yard, which is still the same as it was. But once we get back to the vehicle store, I'll show you the farms. You've been waiting for it to come out. I can imagine so. You know, I can't remember. I don't know exactly when Seasons was released. But I had no internet for 4 months, 3 to 4 months, and I wasn't even on the computer anyway. I was away, so I couldn't do anything. And when Seasons was released, I downloaded it on my phone, but I couldn't transfer it off my phone onto the computer. It just wouldn't let me, and it turned out that it was the cable that I was using that wouldn't let me transfer the data over. And finally I got the Seasons mod over onto the computer, and I began working on doing all of this. So the speed bumps within the town now, as David saw, was the first thing that David saw when I posted pictures in Discord of the changes I was doing. And it's just to, I don't know, make it more normal feel. The other side of the island hasn't been done, that little part over there, but the bridge here has been narrowed to the width of the road, so it's a bit more tighter coming off. But I have taken a truck over here, and it worked fine. A little tight, but got it through. Had to bounce it over the curbs on the bridge a little, but nothing too bad. And some houses have changed, as you can see from, or not that one, but I've already passed them all, I think, but not within the actual village area itself. But a few of the FS19 houses are coming, only a couple, like 3, something like that. I didn't want to put too many of them in because I didn't want to make it look too modern. I wanted to keep the old house styles there. So we'll just leave this here. Right. So the PDA's got to be updated. The road, everything's there apart from here, the horse farm. So the main farm we'll jump to. Silage pit, the BGA sell point you own straight off the get-go. This has got to be fixed here because I did notice this the other day, and the grass growing through the top. But your slurry pit, chickens, all your storage sheds and your cow barn. But yeah, vehicle workshop. All the sheds on this farm is still the same as it was in 17. All the same design, laid out exactly the same. The only thing that was changed here was the slurry pit. It used to be a huge slurry pit, but changed it for this smaller one. Other than that, this area is exactly the same. And apart, well, I say exactly, not exactly, because you can now come in through that gate and go into the farm or into the cow pasture. But other than that, it's exactly the same layout, and the house obviously is different. It's the FS19 house, and the workstation's here as opposed to inside that shed, and you don't start off with anything for cows other than hay bales, which are for sheep ideally, which are all there happily grazing away. And starting equipment is based on the sheep, and as you'll have seen, you own these 2 fields and a grass field over here, as you can see. So your starting equipment is based on making money off these, harvesting or mowing the grass, making hay bales, selling what you don't need, and making money off these fields to be able to move, expand your farm to do, I don't know, if you want to go for agriculture, or you want to be a silage man, or you want to do cattle, that's entirely up to you. But all the grass fields are still as, and do have missions enabled. The pig farm is still the same, exact same layout, just a gravel road coming into it, with a hump apparently needs fixing. But exactly the same as it was. It just, because of the road system, you've just got this extra room at the back here. But I'd rather keep the farm itself tight. But yeah, exactly the same. And then the one that we have already been to, the horse pasture with all of its storage sheds, and might put doors on these sheds. I haven't decided yet, but might do. And then an old barn there. But yeah, you love this map. I've enjoyed porting this map over the years, seeing it transform into what it became. I mean, originally it just started out as a map to play on, and then as new features was added and new ideas came out, it evolved, and then people started giving me feedback and constructive criticism and things like that, and it became. I don't want to open. Oh, I must have caught it when I jumped. I was going to say, why didn't the gate open? Constructive criticism, it helped progress the map into where it is today. And, you know, like Landykid and all that, they done reviews of the map, and they was pointing out that there's old visuals of the buildings and that. They all got updated. There's still some there, I mean the houses, some of the walls, but I'm not going to change everything. And the map works, it plays, and the buildings don't look bad. To me it's perfect the way it is. This field's still a huge field. I mean, I remember doing this one online with the guys, and geez, it reminds you of being back on Aggravation map. It is a big field. The cow area is still here. You still sell the bales at the down here rather than the old style as it was in version 2, 1 even. Still buy your animals here. So yeah, it's looking better. This map may well be great with John Deere Massey and the classic DLC. Could be. I mean, the fields aren't exactly huge. Some of them can be, but then the way they set out, you haven't got to buy the big fields. I mean, you can do these fields quite easily with the smaller equipment. This one may be a little bit more difficult because of the big hump in the middle, but all the others, you know, you can be selective on what you buy. You're not buying chunks of land. You can buy just the fields. Like that one will obviously give you the 2 fields. There's some that are set out like that, but for the most part, you know. And because this one gives you this little bit of here, it means that you can cut down the trees there as well. So you can do a little bit of forestry in areas. But I mean, or if those who like to do forestry, they're split into their own selective areas as well. So it gives you a feel of progression as you buy the field, as you buy the forestry areas, and expand your forestry fleet. I think it took something like 2 weeks to do all of this road, get it all in. A lot of fidgeting around and smoothing out, building up, checking, moving stuff around, going underground, making sure the trees wasn't underground, and then pulling those that was too far underground back up. A lot of all of that, but it was worth it. It's changed the look of the map in a positive way. The John Deere DLC is the Cotton DLC, isn't it? So you could happily, on some of those big fields, really get going, like that big field that we was in, plant cotton on there, and you should get a considerable amount of cotton off that field. Even this field on its own will give you a handsome amount, and that is a huge field. Lane mail down there. Lane muck on that field was interesting in multiplayer. Can you please send me the link on Discord when it's ready? Of course I will. No problem. I like the views more than anything. I just like, as I'm driving around, I just like to glance over little areas and get lost in the atmosphere of the map, which is how the map was originally designed, was to aesthetic pleasing rather than just all fields. Maypole is designed to be tight, Irish feel, and you get blown away. You can get blown away by some of the views on there. You're working on a field and you can see your any other players or any hired AI working on other fields nearby. You're welcome, bud. And I thoroughly love playing on Maypole, and I can't jump over a hedge, which annoys Moondog for that particular reason as well. There again, He moans about anything I do, personally. I just don't think he likes what I do. He doesn't like my work. Originally I was going to take this road and take it all the way around. So it would have come up here to the farm and then bent this way and followed this system all the way around and joined up here. But after looking at the road placement kit, I'd have had to take a big chunk of this out and I'd have had to have had it joined here, and that would have meant modifications to this area because the road would have come this way, so I'd have had to take it like so and then put another field in here, and it was just too much work for something that, so the easier thing would be move the mill somewhere along the side of the road, maybe, or even down by the mill, by the pause itself. The forestry area, it doesn't matter so much. We need to do Wreckfest again. We did Wreckfest last night, funny enough. It was good to be back, not so good dying. Losing the wheels a lot wasn't that much fun, but it was definitely interesting, and feeling how the games had changed. It's definitely feels a bit more playable, and I look forward to playing it again. You know, it used to be our Friday night thing and sometimes our Saturday night thing as well, and occasionally Sunday night, all weekend. And then we did some armour after Wreckfest, which was also interesting and fun. But yeah, it's good to be back. I mean, I have missed streaming, I've missed playing with the guys, I've missed working on the map and showcasing the changes. But sadly, I'm running out of time to do too much today, and tomorrow I won't be able to do probably any streaming until on the night perhaps. But tonight I might be streaming, I do not know, it depends on what the guys want to do. There was talk about the hunting Call to the Wild with the beta patch in place on the fallow deer, who've had the true rack updates and go hunting fallow deer. Maybe, we'll see. If not, then I know the monkey show generally do Euro Truck, so don't them to change their set roles because of what I want to do. It's they want to do that, then we'll do that. You know, I can't go up there, can I? Got cold as well, which isn't fun. But hey ho. Anyway, so this has been Riverview V3, a pre-look at the changes and the evolution of the map from V2 and in all its glory. And I'm hoping with just the minor fixes here and there, the road out, the grass out of the road, the hump by the pig farm, the road that's slightly a tad too high and is clearly visible, just lowered in one part of the road, rather one section. Other than that, the map is pretty much done, and then it's a case of releasing it, finding somewhere to actually upload it to, seeing that FSUK and PCSG have now gone. I could put it on Mod Hoster and Mod WS, but I don't know. I'm still contemplating over where I can upload it to. I'm not going to be one of these who uploads to Facebook only and goes, you want it, go to my Facebook account and get it. You know, I've always used a modding site, so in 6 months the law's changed. But I like that you left the newbie farm sign in. Oh yeah, definitely. Have to leave that there. And even if you don't, if you start on a different difficulty and none of this is here, the newbie farm sign should stay there. I do believe. Let's double check that, shall we? Before I end. I'm pretty sure it does. I love how the game has to close the whole window and shows you the desktop. Thank you, Giants. Delete the save game because I'm not going to keep it. Let's go on that version and then we'll just leave all the mods active. You know what? Forget it. Sick of lighting that thing up. The file size is obviously slightly bigger than what it was. It's now over 200 megabytes, but hey, it's less than 300 megabytes, right? It's like 215 or so megabytes, so it's not huge. Come on. There's no errors or anything in the log, it's just my computer being slow at the moment. It's a great map. Thank you. It's a map that a lot of people have said they played it, it took a while for them to get into, but after they played it, it was something that they couldn't do without. They enjoyed it too much. So all your equipment obviously is up here that you start off with, in its rightful places where the silo was, but the farm's there, the farm sign's there, the ditch for the workshop, which is no longer a workshop. But thankfully Giants have made it so you can modify the terrain yourself, so you can smooth them ditches out and put placeables down. For some reason the workshop stayed. You're not meant to keep that workshop. No. I'll have to fix that one. But yeah. And then you've got a whole heap of land to play with. So that's, in all fairness, probably a couple of days worth of work to be done. And one sec. So maybe early November, first week in November, something like that. The map will be released, hopefully. So yeah, that's my aim anyway. First week in November gives me plenty of time to get other things sorted and slurry pit location, wasn't it? So 3 ditches to fill in if you start off in any mode other than the easy mode or whatever it is, new farmer mode. So with that said, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching and stopping by. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Please leave a like and subscribe and check out the rest of the Monkey Show. All links are within my YouTube channel. They all put their own content out as a single people or as a multiplayer with when we do that. And until next time, take care. See ya. You need to remember that button, Alt FA.